October 24th, 1942, 2:47 a.m. Guadalcanal, Solomon Islands. Gunnery Sergeant John Basilone is lying behind a Browning M1917 water-cooled machine gun. The jungle around him is pitch black. No moon, no stars, just darkness and the sound of men dying. His position overlooks a narrow corridor of kunai grass between two ridges. Henderson Field, the airstrip the Marines are defending, is 500 yards behind him. The Japanese are 100 yards in front, maybe closer. It's hard to tell in the dark. Basilone's hands are covered in blood. Not his blood. Not yet. His gun crew is dead. All of them. 8 Marines who manned the machine guns in this section of the line, cut down in the first Japanese assault 30 minutes ago. Their bodies are scattered around the position. Some are still moving, moaning, calling for corpsmen who can't reach them because the Japanese own everything between here and the aid station. Basilone is alone. 2 machine guns, 6,000 rounds of ammunition, and the entire Japanese 29th Infantry Regiment trying to break through this position. 3,000 men, fanatical, determined, willing to die for the Emperor. They've already overrun to other American positions. They're 200 yards from Henderson Field. If they take the airstrip, Guadalcanal falls. If Guadalcanal falls, the entire Pacific campaign collapses. And the only thing standing between the Japanese and victory is a 26-year-old kid from Raritan, New Jersey, who grew up working in his father's tailor shop. John Basilone doesn't know it yet, but over the next 2 days, he'll kill more enemy soldiers than some entire companies. He'll hold this position against impossible odds. He'll become a legend, and the Marine Corps will give him the Medal of Honor for the most savage display of defensive combat in American military history. All because he refused to run when everyone else was already dead. John Basilone was born November 4th, 1916, in Buffalo, New York. His parents were Italian immigrants, Salvatore and Dora Basilone, part of the wave of Europeans who came to America looking for a better life. The family moved to Raritan, New Jersey, when John was young. 10 kids total, 6 boys, 4 girls. Working class, Catholic, tight-knit. Salvatore ran a tailor shop. The boys helped when they could, but John hated it. Sitting still, measuring fabric, sewing buttons. It drove him insane. 1934. Basilone is 18 years old, restless, looking for something bigger than a tailor shop in New Jersey. He enlists in the army, gets sent to the Philippines, Manila, 3 years of garrison duty in the tropics, drinking, gambling, boxing in regimental matches. Basilone is a natural fighter, 5'8", 175 pounds, built like a fire hydrant. In the ring, he's aggressive, relentless, throws punches until the other guy drops. Outside the ring, he's quiet, friendly, the kind of guy everyone likes. But when it's time to fight, something switches on. 1937. His enlistment ends. He goes back to Raritan, works odd jobs, construction, truck driving, a factory job, hates all of it. Civilian life is boring. He misses the army, misses the structure, the purpose, the sense of belonging to something bigger than himself. But he doesn't want to go back to the army. He wants something harder, something that means something. 1940, Basilone enlists in the Marine Corps. Parris Island, South Carolina. Boot camp. The Marines don't just train you. They break you down and rebuild you into something different. 13 weeks of running, marching, drilling, shooting. The deers scream in your face until you want to quit. Half the recruits do quit. Basilone doesn't. He thrives. The harder they push, the better he gets. After boot camp, he's assigned to weapons training. Machine guns. The Browning M1917, a water-cooled belt-fed .30 caliber weapon that weighs 93 pounds with a tripod. It fires 450 rounds per minute. In the right hands, it's devastating. In Basilon's hands, it's an extension of his body. He learns to clear jams in seconds, change barrels while still firing, read the battlefield, and place fire where it matters most. He becomes an instructor, gunnery sergeant, teaching other Marines how to kill efficiently. Then Pearl Harbor happens. December 7th, 1941, the Japanese attacked the American fleet in Hawaii. 2,403 Americans dead. 8 battleships sunk or damaged. America enters World War II, and the Marine Corps needs every trained man they have. Barcelona ships out with the 1st Marine Division, 7th Regiment, 1st Battalion, Company C. They're told they're heading to the Pacific. No one knows exactly where. Somewhere hot, someone says. Somewhere the Japs don't want us. That's all we need to know. August 7th, 1942. The Marines land on Guadalcanal, the Solomon Islands, a chain of jungle-covered mountains in the South Pacific. The Japanese have built an airstrip here, Henderson Field. If they complete it, Japanese bombers will be able to strike Australia. The entire southern Pacific will be under Japanese control. The Marines have to take it first. The landing is easy. The Japanese construction crews weren't expecting an attack. They run into the jungle, leaving behind equipment, supplies, half-finished buildings. The Marines occupy the airstrip without firing a shot. They think this is going to be simple. They're wrong. Within days, the Japanese start counterattacking. Not with soldiers, with warships. The Tokyo Express, the Marines call it. Japanese destroyers and cruisers, racing down the slot, the channel between the islands, under cover of darkness. They bombard Henderson Field with naval guns, then disappear before American planes can find them. The shelling is constant, brutal. Marines dig foxholes and pray the next shell doesn't land on them. Then the Japanese start landing troops, thousands of them. Imperial Japanese Army regulars, elite units, fanatical fighters who've been trained since childhood to view death in combat as the highest honor. They don't surrender. They don't retreat. They attack until they win or until they're all dead. The Marines dig in around Henderson Field, defensive perimeter, foxholes, machine gun nests, barbed wire, fields of fire cleared through the jungle. They know the Japanese are coming. They just don't know when. October 23rd, 1942, night. The jungle is alive with sound. Insects, birds, the rustle of wind through the trees, and something else. Movement, lots of it. The Marines on the perimeter hear it. Branches breaking. Voices speaking Japanese. The sound of thousands of men moving through the jungle in the dark. The Japanese 29th Infantry Regiment is attacking. 3,000 men, ordered to take Henderson Field at any cost. They've been marching through the jungle for days, living on handfuls of rice, drinking from streams, carrying only their weapons and ammunition. They're exhausted, starving, disease-ridden. But they're also Imperial Japanese Army, and they'll die before they fail. Midnight. The attack begins. Japanese soldiers emerge from the jungle, screaming, charging the Marine positions. They're using human wave tactics, mass infantry assaults designed to overwhelm defensive positions through sheer numbers. It doesn't matter how many die, there are always more behind them. The Marines open fire, machine guns, rifles, mortar. The jungle lights up with muzzle flashes. Tracers arc through the darkness. The sound is deafening. Screaming, explosions, the staccato hammering of machine guns. The Japanese keep coming. They're climbing over their own dead, still charging, still attacking. Barcelona's position is a slight rise overlooking a corridor of kunai grass. It's a natural choke point. Any Japanese trying to reach Henderson Field have to come through this corridor. Barcelona has 2 machine guns positioned to create interlocking fields of fire. His crew is 8 men. Enough to keep both guns running, to feed ammunition, change barrels, clear jams. The first wave of Japanese hits Barcelon's position at 12:30 a.m., hundreds of them charging out of the jungle, screaming bonsai. Barcelona opens fire. The Browning roars. 30 caliber rounds tear through the attacking soldiers. Men fall. More keep coming. Barcelona is firing in long bursts, 10 to 15 rounds, traversing the gun left and right, cutting down the enemy in swaths. His assistant gunner is feeding the belt, keeping the ammunition flowing. The barrel is heating up. Water in the cooling jacket is boiling, steam venting from the overflow. The gun is working perfectly. The Japanese are dying by the dozen, but they don't stop. They keep charging. Some of them make it within 50 yards before Barcelona's fire cuts them down. Some make it within 20 yards. A few make it close enough to throw grenades. One grenade lands 5 feet from Barcelona's position. He doesn't even flinch, keeps firing. The grenade explodes. Shrapnel tears through the air. One piece catches his assistant gunner in the throat. The Marine goes down, gurgling, drowning in his own blood. Barcelona doesn't stop firing, can't stop. Another Marine moves up, takes the dead man's place, starts feeding the belt. The Japanese keep coming, wave after wave. The Marines are firing constantly. The second machine gun is hammering away 30 yards to Barcelona's right. The Japanese are taking horrific casualties, hundreds dead, but they're also getting closer. Some of them have made it past the machine gun fire and are in the Marine positions, fighting hand to hand. Barcelona can hear fighting to his left, screaming, the sound of bayonets and rifle butts hitting flesh. Then the second machine gun goes silent, jammed, or the crew is dead. Barcelona doesn't know which, but now the entire weight of the Japanese attack is focused on his position. His gun is the only thing still firing, the only thing stopping 3,000 Japanese soldiers from breaking through. Barcelona's gun jams. A belt of ammunition has twisted, feeding wrong. Happens sometimes in combat. The gun is firing so fast, the heat and vibration can cause the belts to bind. Barcelona has cleared hundreds of jams in training, but never under fire, never with Japanese soldiers 30 yards away, charging, screaming, trying to kill him. He clears the jam in 8 seconds. Muscle memory. Thousands of hours of training compressed into pure instinct. Lift the feed tray cover. Extract the twisted belt. Reseat the ammunition. Close the cover. Charge the weapon. The gun is firing again. The Japanese who got close during the jam are cut down. 2 a.m. Barcelona's position has been under continuous attack for 90 minutes. The ground in front of his gun is carpeted with Japanese dead. 50 bodies, maybe more. It's hard to count in the dark. The Marines who were feeding ammunition are all dead or wounded. Barcelona is firing the gun alone now, feeding the belt with his left hand while his right hand controls the trigger. It's awkward, inefficient, but it works. The Japanese pull back, regroup. The attack has stalled. They've taken massive casualties and haven't broken through. In the lull, Barcelona assesses his situation. His gun crew is gone, all of them, dead or wounded so badly they can't fight. The second machine gun position is silent, either abandoned or destroyed. He's alone. He has maybe 2,000 rounds of ammunition left. The Japanese will attack again. He knows it. They always attack again. And when they do, he won't have enough ammunition to stop them. Barcelona makes a decision. He leaves his gun, runs through the jungle, back toward the supply point. It's 400 yards. Through terrain the Japanese have infiltrated. He's alone, unarmed except for his pistol, running through a combat zone in pitch darkness. If he runs into a Japanese patrol, he's dead. He reaches the supply point. It's chaos. Marines are running in every direction. Wounded men being carried to the aid station. Ammunition bearers trying to figure out where to take the supplies. Officers shouting orders. Barcelona finds the ammunition dump. Heavy metal cans of belted .30 caliber, each weighing 40 pounds. He grabs 2 cans, 80 pounds, hoists them onto his shoulders, starts running back to his position. The cans are burning him. The metal handles are cutting into his hands. His shoulders are screaming, but he doesn't stop, can't stop. His position is the only thing holding the line. If he doesn't get back with ammunition, the Japanese break through. He makes it back, drops the ammunition cans next to his gun, reloads. The Japanese are forming up for another attack. He can see them in the darkness, shapes moving through the jungle, getting ready to charge. 2:30 a.m., the second Japanese wave hits, even bigger than the first. They're screaming, charging, throwing themselves at Baselan's position with suicidal determination. Baselan opens fire. The Browning roars back to life. Japanese soldiers fall. More keep coming. Baselan is firing constantly now. Long bursts. The barrel is glowing red. The water in the cooling jacket has boiled away. The gun is overheating. He has to change the barrel. It's a two-man job normally. One man to remove the hot barrel, another to install the new one. Baselan is alone. He grabs the barrel with his bare hands. The metal is 400 degrees. It sears his flesh instantly. The smell of burning skin fills the air. Baselan doesn't let go, can't let go. He twists the barrel, unlocks it, pulls it free. His hands are ruined. Third-degree burns across both palms. He drops the hot barrel, grabs a new one, locks it in place, charges the gun, keeps firing. The pain is unimaginable. Every time he grips the gun, every time his burned hands touch the hot metal, it's agony. But he doesn't stop. The Japanese are 20 yards away, then 15, then 10. Baselan is firing point blank now. The muzzle flash is lighting up Japanese faces. He can see their expressions. Determination, rage, fear. They're dying by the dozen, but they keep coming. A Japanese officer makes it to the edge of Baselan's position. He has a sword, traditional samurai blade. He's screaming, raising the sword to strike. Baselan can't traverse the gun fast enough. The officer is too close. Baselan grabs his pistol with his burned hand, fires twice. The officer goes down. More Japanese are climbing over the bodies of their dead comrades, still trying to break through. Baselan goes back to the machine gun, keeps firing. His ammunition is running low again. He's down to maybe 500 rounds. Not enough. Not nearly enough. He runs back to the supply point. Another trip through the jungle. Another 400 yards. His hands are so badly burned he can barely grip the ammunition cans. But he hoists them anyway. 80 pounds on his shoulders. Runs back through the darkness, through the Japanese-infiltrated jungle, back to his gun. He makes it. Reloads. The Japanese attack again, and again, and again. Wave after wave. For 6 hours, from midnight until dawn, John Baselan holds this position alone. He fires over 10,000 rounds, changes barrels a dozen times, burning his hands worse each time, makes multiple trips to the ammunition dump, kills hundreds of Japanese soldiers. Dawn. The jungle goes quiet. The Japanese pull back. They've taken staggering losses. Over 1,200 men dead in this sector alone. They can't sustain the attack. They retreat into the jungle to regroup. Marines from the reserve companies move forward to reinforce the line. They find Baselan still at his gun, surrounded by brass casings and dead Japanese. His hands are destroyed, burned so badly the flesh is black and cracked. He can't move his fingers. A corpsman tries to treat him. Baselan waves him off. "Check the others first," he says. "I'm fine." He's not fine. He's exhausted, dehydrated, suffering from second and third degree burns on both hands. But he refuses to leave his position. The Japanese will attack again tonight. He knows it, and his gun needs to be ready. October 25th, the Japanese attack again. 3 waves over 8 hours. Barcelon is back at his gun, hands wrapped in bandages, firing. He's not alone this time. Reinforcements have arrived. Other Marines are manning the second gun, but Barcelon is still the anchor, still the one holding the line. By the time the attacks end, Barcelon has been in continuous combat for 48 hours. He's killed over 1,000 enemy soldiers, personally, with 2 machine guns and his bare burned hands. The Battle of Guadalcanal continues for another 3 months, but the Japanese never break through Henderson Field, never take the airstrip, and a large part of that is because John Barcelon held a narrow corridor of jungle against impossible odds for 2 days. May 1943, Barcelon is called back to the United States. The Marine Corps wants him for a war bond tour. Parade him around the country, let people see a real hero, raise money for the war effort. Barcelon hates it. He's not a hero. He's just a Marine who did his job. The guys who died on Guadalcanal, they're the heroes. He's just the one who survived. The tour is exhausting. Speeches, rallies, dinners with politicians. Everyone wants to shake his hand, ask him about Guadalcanal, hear war stories. Barcelon tells them nothing. We fought. We won. That's all. The Marine Corps offers him a commission. Officers training. He turns it down. They offer him a training position, stateside, safe. He turns that down too. I'm a machine gunner, he says. That's what I do. And my boys are still out there fighting. 1944, Barcelon volunteers for another combat deployment. The Marine Corps tries to stop him. You've done enough, they tell him. You're more valuable here, training new Marines, selling war bonds. Barcelon doesn't care. He's going back. They send him to Camp Pendleton, California, to train with the 5th Marine Division. They're preparing for something big. No one knows what, just that it's going to be the worst fight of the Pacific War. At Camp Pendleton, Barcelon meets a woman, Lena May Ridgey. She's a Marine, too, a sergeant in the Marine Corps Women's Reserve. They meet at a dance, fall in love, get married July 10, 1944. Barcelon has 10 days of leave, 10 days to be a husband, to be normal, to forget about the war. Then he ships out. February 19, 1945. Iwo Jima, a volcanic island 760 miles from Tokyo, 8 square miles of black sand, sulfur, and 21,000 Japanese defenders dug into caves and bunkers. The Marines need it for the airstrip, a base for bombers hitting mainland Japan. The Japanese are ordered to defend it to the death. Barcelon is with the 1st Battalion, 27th Marines. They're hitting Red Beach too, the northern end of the invasion beaches. The landing is a nightmare. Japanese artillery and mortars zeroed in on the beaches. Marines can't dig foxholes in the volcanic sand. It won't hold. They're pinned down, taking casualties, unable to advance. Barcelon is a platoon sergeant now. Leading men, he sees the problem immediately. There's a Japanese blockhouse at the base of Mount Suribachi, firing directly down the beach. Machine gun nest inside, reinforced concrete, pillbox design. It's slaughtering the Marines as they come off the landing craft. Barcelon doesn't wait for orders. He grabs a demolition team. With me, he says. They move up the beach under fire. Japanese machine guns are hammering the sand around them. Marines are dying everywhere. Barcelon keeps moving. They reach the blockhouse. Barcelon places the satchel charge against the firing slit, pulls the fuse, runs. The charge detonates. The blockhouse explodes. The Japanese inside are dead. The machine gun is silent. The Marines advance. Barcelon moves with them, directing fire, pushing forward. Then the Japanese mortar find his position. The first round lands close. Shrapnel tears through the air. The second round lands closer. The third round is a direct hit. John Barcelon is killed instantly. He's 28 years old, married for 7 months. on Iwo Jima for less than 6 hours. They bury him at Arlington National Cemetery. Section 12, Grave 384. The Medal of Honor is engraved on his headstone. So is the Navy Cross, which he earned on Iwo Jima. He's the only enlisted Marine in World War II to receive both. Raritan, New Jersey builds a memorial, a statue of Basilon with his machine gun. Every year, on his birthday, the town holds a parade. Marines from all over the country attend, to honor the kid from the tailor shop who became a legend. Here's what the story of John Basilon tells us. Heroism isn't about wanting to be a hero. It's about doing what needs to be done when no one else can. On Guadalcanal, Basilon could have retreated when his gun crew was killed. No one would have blamed him. Standard doctrine says you fall back when your position is overrun. But Basilon looked at those 2 machine guns and knew if he left, the Japanese would break through. 3,000 enemy soldiers would pour through that corridor and take Henderson Field. So he stayed, alone, for 2 days. He burned his hands changing hot barrels. He made ammunition runs through enemy-held jungle. He fired over 10,000 rounds and killed over 1,000 enemy soldiers. Not because he wanted glory, because his brothers needed him to hold the line. On Iwo Jima, he could have stayed in the rear. He was famous, decorated. He'd done enough. But he saw Marines dying on the beach and knew he could help. So he charged a Japanese blockhouse and died taking it out. Because that's what Marines do. They lead from the front. John Basilon never wanted to be a hero. He just wanted to be a good Marine. But sometimes, being a good Marine means doing impossible things. And sometimes those impossible things change the course of history.